various different countries depending on what sport they have needed. So it'll be Japan in the blue and Hong Kong in the red, and I'll be joined for the commentary by Kiki Stensgaard. And Kiki, great to see what looks like very nearly a full house here at Hong Kong Stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup here, and as you said, Andrew, it looks like the stands are pretty much full for most of the stadium here, and obviously the home crowd really getting forward here to support their hometown favorites, well, at least in their minds. I think that it's a very good matchup we have today. As you mentioned earlier, the Japanese side is on average about 2 years younger than this Hong Kong side. But in terms of height and size, both sides pretty much about the same, standing at just below 170 in centimeters. Probably have to say on the cards that Japan has played the most fluid football coming into the final, but with the home crowd at home and with the heroics that the Hong Kong pulled out in that incredible penalty shootout the other day, you've got to probably say it's a 50-50 before kickoff.
Yeah, Hong Kong really surprising a lot of pundits in that semi-final. Unfortunately, there wasn't a huge crowd. There was a very lucky small group of, to be honest, I think it was around 7,000. But look at the stands today. We have close to 40,000 spectators. It's a great sight, and this will make for an excellent atmosphere for Hong Kong. Looking there at the South Stand, the famous South Stand in Hong Kong Stadium, from the north, and a gold medal on the line here. And just to update you on the bronze medal match, which was held earlier this afternoon, it was the two Koreas involved there, and the Republic of Korea, or South Korea, defeating North Korea on penalties.
So as we see here, the Japanese players preparing to square off. It's match on, and so important for either side now not to concede early.
He's going to have trouble keeping that in.
An opportunity there for Nagai, who of course scored the winning goal in the extra time the other day. And the Hong Kong back four is going to have to watch out very carefully for Nagai, because he looked like he's really hitting his stride. And for me, definitely was the play of the match for Japan the other day in the semi-finals.
Well, Kiki, we did wonder about the fitness of the Hong Kong side when we saw them up against North Korea, because the North Koreans are famously disciplined and fit. But, well, for me, I had to eat my words, because really at the end of the match, it wasn't the deciding factor.
It certainly wasn't the deciding factor, and when it came to the penalty shootout, Hong Kong were incredible, perfect from the shots, and they showed a lot of character coming through. And I think it really have encouraged them and given them a lot of confidence to come into this final. Here, long pass into the box. It's going to be booted away here by Japan's number 10, Yamamoto.
Again, the Japanese have surprised most of the fans here with the experience and maturity that they've shown, despite the fact that they are largely a teenage side, really.
Yeah, one of the things that is quite amazing about this side is also they had a lot of the best players sitting on the bench and not even featuring in the semifinals. But I have to say, looking at the starting lineup today, we do have these very influential players back in the squad for this final. And so number 15, Oshitani, who did not play a feature in the semifinal, is back in here again in the finals. Good pace here in the early start. It's going to be so important to win the battle here in the midfield.
So a chance here for Hong Kong. They don't seem to have enough support up there, though. And perhaps
Chow there was pushed off the ball, trying to get a free kick there on the edge of the box. But probably a good decision by the Vietnamese referee. The tall Chow worked tirelessly in the semifinals against Korea, and although he didn't get on the score sheet, he certainly created a lot of chances. And it's going to be very important for Hong Kong to have Chow work at his fullest today, to put pressure on the Japanese side and not allowing them to press too much forward, because we saw in the semi-final they play very fluid passing football if they're allowed to do so.
Yamamura puts it out. Now the team coach for Hong Kong is Kim Pan-gon, a Korean who played a lot of club football here for many years. So here's the break on from Zhu Deshui, who played such a pivotal role in that semi-final victory against North Korea.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Sue, to say that picture. Probably the man of the match for the Hong Kong side. He had a lot of good moves, worked very hard, and here again showing some good pace, winning a ball and coming up forward on the right-hand flank. And it's going to be very important for the Hong Kong side that he is on his top of his game.
Picked up there by Ngai and Nagy. Nagai getting a little clip there from Leung Chun Pong, the number 16 from Hong Kong. Well, already you can see this is a slightly overly physical encounter for Hong Kong. They're really putting on some pressure, and Nagai was the one there who came to the attention of the referee.
Yeah, Nagai there definitely is the target man for the Hong Kong back four. They're not going to want to give him any space whatsoever today.
Forward by Higa. This is Kawano. Aoki flips it off very quickly to Kamata. Yamamura. A good cross, and Osaka was hovering in there, close to that man, number 17, Yap Hung Fai, who was the hero for Hong Kong in the semi-finals, saving 2 penalties, penalty shootouts, and pulling off a series of other fabulous saves during regulation time.
Chan Wai-ho here playing very deep and passing the ball back for Yap to hoist it forward. Danger here. Oh, well, it's still Japan, though. The free kick is given. Hong Kong has to be very careful about giving possession in their own half. This Japan side moves so fast on the break.
This is Aoyung out for Chow. Chow Peng Fei nearly loses that defender. Lee Chi-ho. Forward by Yamamura.
Good pressure here now from Hong Kong, not allowing the Japanese to get out their own side. Oh, that's danger here. Maybe a little bit of a touch of a handball there from that guy, but play is waved on. And Japan now with a chance for overlap or a shot perhaps and goal.
They wasted that. They had a man out to the right. It was Nagai who held the ball longer than he should have. Now, Kiki, you would hope that Hong Kong will be able to do what they did against North Korea, which was frustrate their opponents and also chew up a lot of valuable time by retaining possession. The possession stats in Hong Kong's favour in that first half in the semis was heavily favourable.
Yeah, very important for Hong Kong not to allow the Japanese too much possession because they pass so well. You have to say that the men in blue are superior when it comes to passing game. And despite that they are the younger side by a full 2 years, they're very, very superior in that particular department. And you're right to say that if Hong Kong can just keep control of the ball, it's going to be played on their premises. So very important that Hong Kong stays forward and aggressive, just like we see here now. Chow being up very early, checking on the Japanese side. Cheng and Chow is playing quite deep, and there Cheng wins battle at the back for Chow. Su with an opportunity to get something meaningful into the box, and he wastes that opportunity.
This is Yamamura. And now it's Kawano. Higa. Playing it out wide there for Kamata.
Offside here, I think.
Well, there was a hand up. The flag appears to have stayed down, though. Well, I'll tell you what, Japan really making their intentions known, and they are looking very, very exciting at the moment in these first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was a very close call here. This ball in, well, it's no call for it, and Osako managed to get the ball in, but Yap did a good job there coming up and taking the ball away before Yamamura could get his header on it. But again, a good move from the Japanese side. But that's also what we saw in the semi-finals, but they lacked that last quality to actually get something on the goal. And I'm sure the Japanese coach we want them to get more shots on the target this time around, because both sides, of course, having to play extra time in the semi-finals. I'm sure both sides really would love to try to finish this thing in regulation play.
Yeah, they'll both be a little tired. I mean, the Japanese sealing their semi-final in the last seconds of the second period of extra time.
Yeah, and talking about you know, both sides having come in here after having played 120 minutes of football and an extra time, and for Hong Kong also having to go through the penalty shootout, that gives a little bit of edge to Japan, because they have rested a lot more of their players. Quite a few of their players has only played 2 games so far in the East Asian Games, whereas for most of this squad of Hong Kong had to play every single match.
Well, Hong Kong, of course, in the early stages of the East Asian Games, got their campaign underway with a stunning 4-1 victory over South Korea.
A good opportunity here from a free kick. Let's see if it's Wong that comes on the ball. Usually is. It's not this time around. It's Chow that takes a shot, and a wasted opportunity. No, that was perhaps not Chow over there. Let's see.
Yeah, certainly should have done much, much better with that. There's the Hong Kong skipper, Ao Jung.
There he is again in picture. Back 2 players from Hong Kong playing very deep in the build-up play. And, giving the ball cheaply away to this Japanese side. Not a whole lot of Japanese spectators supporting today. It's pretty much the Red Sea of shirts. Lots of home supporters. Long ball forward. Wong gets the knock, and Nagai gives away. Possibly is a free kick, and maybe the referee just lets it go for a throw-in. No, Wong does get a free kick.
It really seemed like some deliberate gamesmanship from Nagai. Tactic perhaps to try and unsettle Hong Kong here on their home pitch. Yamamura. And jeers and boos when the opponents get the ball, just as North Korea, the same treatment they got. Nagai.
It's a good move there from Japan initially. Perhaps he had tried to get that ball squared a little bit early from Nagai. And at the end, really no danger. But here, if he could have gotten it squared a little bit earlier, could have caused a lot of trouble inside the box where Aoki was lurking. That guy is definitely the man that back three is going to have to watch out for, as we see Yap here running up to the ball to hoist it forward. I have to say that so far in the game, Andrew, the back two players, particularly Chen Wei Ho, has looked a little bit nervous on the ball, and going to need a little bit more cohesiveness between the back two players and the midfield of Hong Kong in order to not to create a gap for the Japanese to get into. Very important that you keep those two lines of play very close to each other and don't give up too much territory. Cool pass, and Hong Kong now an opportunity to build up something. Wong there, who played a big role in the semi-finals. We haven't seen as much to him today so far. Because his free kick that set up Hong Kong for the first goal. And I'm sure we will see him taking part in some more action. As Chow there is called for a foul.
It's Muramatsu who hit the turf for Japan. The Japanese number 7 looked like he may have thrown himself down a little as well.
Yeah, I think Chow really had won that ball, and the referee just went on that little dummy. That's good play there from Suzuki. Just stopping the move from Hong Kong.
Yeah, that one given away. This is Ao Yung on the charge. He's got plenty of pace. Ao Yung, is it going to be charged down by Kawano? Chow. Leung. Crossed by Lee.
Wong there, and he's dispossessed. There's Kamata running forward. Yamamoto with a long cross here, and they're not able to control the ball there, the Japanese. Higa keeps the pressure on.
I think there'll be a lot of smiles in the Hong Kong football establishment after this tournament is finished, whether Hong Kong wins the gold medal or the silver medal, because this is an all-Chinese side. It's something that they've been building up to for the last 10, 15 years. We have seen international tournament teams Hong Kong make a serious play here. Well, they've won the corner.
And that was good defending by Muramatsu, who realized the danger. And this cross coming in from Leung, and Muramatsu coming across and getting the ball into safety right in front of the boots of Chow. And Chow got to that, I think that would have been 1-0 for Hong Kong. So critical move there from the defender. But Hong Kong now with a corner kick. We know they're very strong from these positions. Suzuki and Chow. It's Wong with a short corner. And that's not the best of play, but he keeps the possession.
Oh, look at that. That was well played by Hong Kong.
Yeah, that ball at the end coming a little bit behind Chow and not able to get anything directed on the goal. But here Wong doing well, keeping possession, and a strong ball in, just a little bit behind Chow.
Hong Kong did very well with that. Just back to what I was saying before, it will be pleasing to a lot of the football officials here to have an all-Chinese side, because at some of the top-level tournaments where Hong Kong is fielded, the Hong Kong national side, well, there's going to be a little discussion here with the Vietnamese referee and one of the linesmen. The linesmen are from Chinese Taipei and Myanmar.
Yeah, there's some discussion going on between the assistant referee and the referee about the corner kick, I think.
Well, the linesman seemed to be saying something like it should be a throw. He was saying the word throw and indicating it with his hand movement, so it looked like he was overruled by the referee. Matsumoto in goal for Japan.
Good pressure there from Chow. And it gives Hong Kong an opportunity to build something again. Unfortunately, Leung losing the ball there. A good shift here. Aoki with a long ball forward to his central offensive players, but not able to get at the end of that one. Wong should show up over here. There he is. Lucky to keep the ball is Wong, the left back from Hong Kong.
It was well won by Kamata, swinging it all the way over there for Kawano.
Sako and Nagai is waiting in there for an opportunity. This Japanese side just trying to pry up what is now a very, very tight defending Hong Kong side. Everybody behind the ball. Now maybe a movement forward from Hong Kong. That's a good body tackle there. And Zhu definitely deserved that free kick, and Yamamura just stepping right into the line of his play. So far, neither goalkeeper really has been tested, but we have had a couple of dangerous situations. That ball been shielded away by Kamata.
There's Donald Jung in the middle there. Kwok Ka Ming to his left, one of the great names of Hong Kong football as a player, and then later for many years as a coach, both at club level and Hong Kong national level. Sitting right next to the chief executive, who, as we've noticed over the past week or so, seeing him a few times at various tournaments with his own camera at events.
Wong with the opportunistic ball into the box, but nobody to get to the end of that one. And now Japan is building up here on the left flank.
Oh, that's a great ball through. How did they sneak that through? And they may have won a corner. I think that may have come off a Hong Kong defender.
That should be a corner there. Nagai is defended there by Lee, who gets the block in, but a dangerous situation, Andrew. And there was two Hong Kong defenders kind of sleeping there, caught napping. Have to watch out for that. Nagai running in behind them, and Yap now having to defend a corner. As I mentioned earlier, these sides are pretty much even in terms of height. So this really should be the domain of the goalkeeper. Will be whipped in by Yamamoto. It's a very high ball, and ooh,
that's in. Or is it? Yes, that's a goal for Japan. Hard to tell with the silence of the crowd here, but you could see that one coming. They'd already had 2 or 3 strong build-ups, and Japan take a 1-0 lead.
Well, this is poor defending here. Very high corner kick coming into the far post. It's kind of missed right here, and then look at a completely free shot from Muramatsu, and Yap couldn't hold that shot. He tried to block it, but unfortunately not able to block it into safety. And a sleeping Hong Kong centre defence right there, and Muramatsu scores the first goal for Japan here in the final. So now Hong Kong is going to have to change gears. Very, very important for them to try to see if they can draw even here before we go into the half-time. And you can see now that spectators getting much more anxious, and I think now we really need the crowd to get behind this young Hong Kong squad and spur them on to get an equaliser. Aoki taking his time on the ball. Of course, now Japan in not particular rush. disappointing goal to concede there for Hong Kong.
Well, in some ways, it's going to put that extra bit of spark into the game because as the home side, Hong Kong are really going to have to ramp it up. So let's see if Japan are able to keep the sort of possession that they've enjoyed for the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Osaka plays Kamata through, and this time it's dealt with by the Hong Kong skipper. Still, it's Japan with the pressure, and that's not where we want to see the ball. We want to see Hong Kong putting pressure on the Japanese defense. Muramatsu, the goal scorer here. Okay, Muramatsu taking the time again in the build-up here. Going down, Muramatsu got a little bit of a nick. Now Young, the captain, goes down from the challenge from Yamamura. Just running in the back and with that right arm leaning onto Ao Young. It's a little bit of a shock here for everybody for Hong Kong to concede this early in the first half. Ball chested down.
I'm not sure if he kept that in. Cheng of Hong Kong.
Well, he did a good job initially there, and Ao Young now with a throw-in leaves us to his left back Wong, who we need to see more in action. The left foot Wong. Silly free kick there, really. Jiang. And just gets a word from the referee, because that's the kind of free kicks that we'd rather not see, because he's lost the ball already, and not unnecessary to pull down the Japanese player. But Jiang now probably have to watch out.
It's Kawano. Through for Osako. Good solid defending by Hong Kong.
Yeah, Ao Young clears Chow forward. Playing with the ball, and he passes it straight to a Japanese player.
This is Aoki, and Hong Kong, for some reason, have managed to scoop this up again. Ao Young is now finding himself surrounded by blue shirts, but a good little break there. And just doesn't have the legs against the likes of Yamamura.
Well, the problem for our young is Yamamura is really tall and athletic. You know, he stands at 186. He's by far the tallest player in the Japanese squad, and has really used his size a couple of times to out-muscle our young. That player could become a real problem for Hong Kong. Yamamura, the midfielder number 5. Really out-muscling the Hong Kong defenders.
Well, Hong Kong looking for a little more consistency after the semi-final, in which they really dominated the first half, but then had a complete role reversal in the second before surviving those 2 periods of extra time and winning on penalties.
Good control there from Aoki, picking down that long pass from Yamamoto, and there's Aoki again, and he's onside, Nagai. I think he just run into the offside there. Certainly looked like it from our vantage point here, that he was offside, but probably just about a meter. But again, a very dangerous move, and Nagai just does that so well, coming in from the behind. The defenders, they just don't know where he is. Very important that the Hong Kong defense communicates more. Wong headed on. There should be a Japanese ball. Kamata. It's been pretty lively here in the first 30 minutes. Goal scorer Matsu is looking for a player there, but Ao Young now with the ball.
Ao Young chips it forward.
The Hong Kong skipper there, Andrew, has shown a lot of good skill so far in the game. I just don't think there's enough movement in the midfield for Hong Kong right now to create any real pressure. There's a gap between defenders and midfielders right now, and it's Japanese midfielders that is camped out in the center of the pitch, and they're making it very, very difficult to put any kind of meaningful attack in place for this Hong Kong side. And I think that's largely to do to the work from Yamamura, who has really controlled the middle of the park so far. There's the goal scorer.
Kamata. Osako again. Back for Yamamura.
Nagai with a shot, and it's always rising, but again, giving too much space and time just outside the box. Hong Kong defense going to have to close in down more carefully here. I mean, if that shot is on target, Yap is going to have to stretch real fast. And, Hong Kong does not need to concede any further goals. I think one more goal to Japan, and it will be maybe just a hill a little bit too steep to climb. Lee with the free kick here, an opportunity here for Hong Kong to get the ball into the box, and Matsumoto takes that one totally uncontested, the Japanese keeper, and that's too poor. They've got to get up there and at least put some pressure on the keeper in these kind of situations.
Forward by Wong.
And I think Kwok wins a throw-in, or perhaps not. He was bouncing around a little bit. It's Japan with the ball. It's the skipper, Yamamoto, taking his time to look for a teammate.
I'll tell you what, Kiki, Japan haven't slowed down either. They're obviously looking for a second goal.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously already kind of took out the crowd here. Again, danger and a desperate clearance from Lee. Again, playing through the Hong Kong defense. Yamamoto. And a poor pass from him. And headed into clearance by the scorer, Muramatsu. He's certainly shown his standard today, being a defender, and has so far been the first player to score a goal. Ao Young with a long ball forward, headed down to Chow, gets the cross in, and the header over the crossbar. And Zhu not able to get that directed onto goal, but much better work here from Hong Kong. Set up first by a long ball forward by Ao Young, good cross from Chow, and Su, well, he just got enough pressure there in the back by Higa, and we're not able to get that ball downwards, but a much better move from Hong Kong.
Zhu Deshui, as you can tell by the name, originally from the mainland, but he's been playing club football in Hong Kong for, it goes back 9 or 10 years now, I think. Finds his way through two defenders.
Well, I think Ao Young could be the player that is going to make the difference for Hong Kong today. He has shown some real skill and talent. I would say world-class dribbling skill so far. Nagai is being called a foul on. I think that's a little bit harsh.
Yeah, not the first time, though, that he's been called back by the referee.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit harsh here. There's a 50-50 ball. And Chan was already starting to fall. But anyway, it's Hong Kong ball. And Nagai gets a yellow card. Here
comes Yap.
So let's see now if Hong Kong can get a similar move like they had before. They've certainly shown now that they can challenge this Japanese back four in the air. Again, it's a desperate clearance there by Chan Wai-ho. He's the last man. I mean, if he doesn't get that ball clear, it's a clear goal for Japan. And that's been twice in succession now that he's had to get his boot on the ball where the Japanese player is free on goal.
I think they definitely fancy themselves for a second, and that would really be dreadful news for Hong Kong.
Well, it would be the perfect way to take out the crowd, take out this home support, and I'm sure that would have been the message from the Japanese team manager is get this crowd out of the equation and make it even pegging, because of course this crowd can play a big role in the outcome of this match. There he is again, the goal scorer, Muramatsu, and he is passing to his skipper, Yamamoto. Japan taking the time now. Just got about 10-11 minutes left here of the first half, and that's a wasted ball. We need to see Wong more in action moving forward. A lot of influence in this semi-final so far today. He's not been involved enough moving forward. I think it's going to be a very difficult play, Andrew, to play the ball forward from way back deep in defense and hope to get a meaningful attack going on.
We saw some interesting tactics by North Korea in the semi-finals against Hong Kong. Very old-fashioned style, punting the ball up just like that.
Yeah, but you kind of got to get it at least from kind of just inside your own half, not from your own box. That's just too much to ask for.
Aoki.
Lots of space over here, and Higa got time on the ball.
Shadowed by Jung.
And that is a corner kick for Japan. Gonna have to watch out now. Yamamoto, it looks like he's gonna run over and whip this ball in again. Sure, Yap will be plenty nervous now on the line, having conceded already once from a corner kick. Short kick this time though. Yamamoto again on the ball. Short angle in, and Yap takes it down with authority. Quick ball forward, and that's a complete waste. And he just needs to settle down there. There was absolutely nobody to be able to receive that ball, and that was a waste. Here Yap comes up, uncontested, and then wastefully kicks it away.
To be fair, it's an uncharacteristic mistake from a guy who's had a fantastic tournament.
Should have been called out, and it is finally. Aoki not able to keep that ball inside the park or inside the lines.
Japan very convincing in the group stages, defeating North Korea 2-1 and Macau 5-0. It's definitely Hong Kong that had the biggest upset of the tournament with that 4-1 win over the South Koreans.
Here, good move perhaps, Aoyang. And Chang on the ball. Can he get in the cross? And that's a very, very poor cross.
Yeah, and you know what? He wasn't even under that great deal of pressure. The defender was still 3 or 4 feet away from him.
Yeah, he would be bitterly disappointed when that effort. And we have one of the Hong Kong players now down. Looking for treatment is Wong Chen Hong. And it looks like he's been hit on the left calf. And he should be okay in a few minutes. Yeah, up he is again.
He's okay. A bit of spray, and he should be able to walk that out. Or is he going to have to continue this treatment on the sidelines. Either way, the referee wants everybody, he wants all those involved off the pitch.
Yeah, actually, it was Leung Chun Pong who was the player that couldn't see the complete shirt, and he was actually number 16, Leung. And he needs to be able to run a lot because Hong Kong has struggled in the midfield so far. Matsumoto with the goal kick.
Well, that was clumsy. A bit of a body check there by Aoki of Japan. Good opening here for Hong Kong. The break from Chow. Oh, going for goal himself.
Well, the problem, good work there from Chow, Andrew, but the problem was he didn't have any players near the post to play the ball.
You're right. He obviously wanted to cross, and in fact, that shot that looked almost like a cross.
Yeah, and then the keeper there knew that he has nobody in front of him. He just had to punt the ball away. But unfortunately, nobody to follow up there for Hong Kong. Good work from Chow, but they have a corner kick, does Hong Kong. And let's see if they can get a better ball in now.
Yeah, with only around 5 minutes left in this first half. Ooh, well, it made contact with somebody.
Well, it was the Japanese defender that got a touch on that, but had Hong Kong had a player by the far post, that really could have been a great opportunity. Hong Kong with a throw in here, still an opportunity to put some real pressure on, and it would be a huge boost if they could score here before the halftime. It's wrong with the throw. Chow turning, and this time cleared by the Japanese defender, and it's Matsumoto that finally gets hold of the ball. But good work here from Chow, and he certainly has been well worth watching in the last couple of minutes. That's good work by Aoki.
This is Kawano again.
Well, there's danger here.
He's dogged. He just doesn't have the support, though.
Sako here looking for a cross. Yamamoto, Osako again, and that looks like it's going to be too high, and it was easy take from Yap.
Remembering this is the man who saved 2 penalties in the shootout. Chang. Chang starts slowly getting boxed in there.
Wong with the ball, looking for a free player. And there's space over here for Chow again. Gets the low ball in, and he's costing this Japanese defense on this left flank, well, for Hong Kong's attacking left flank, a lot of trouble.
Same thing happened in the final 4 encounter. Hong Kong heavily favoured the left, and they had success down there. Lee Chi-ho plays it back for his keeper, Yap. Lee Chi-ho again.
Yeah, and the Japanese team now not moving too far forward. Want to defend this 1-0 lead going into the halftime. And the crowd is really getting going now, Andrew. Got the Mexican wave going. It's good to see that the crowd here is really trying to spur on the players. Here, Chow now on the right flank. Oh, and a good opportunity there, and really good defending, you have to say, from Yamamura. Okay, with the clearance. Good pressure here from Hong Kong. And that man Chow has been everywhere in the last 10 minutes. think we could have another yellow card here. Osako goes in the book. And that's a bad challenge there into the back of Zhang. And Osako Yuya deservedly gets in the referee's book.
Well, that was really borderline dangerous, that tackle.
Well, that's one of the things that's been surprising about this Japanese side. Despite being 2 years younger than this Honda side, they're playing very, very tough football. High ball in, and that's the way Matsumoto picks it down. He just wants time to go so that Japan can go into the halftime with a 1-0 lead.
Well, it may only be one goal, but Hong Kong know that they've been largely outplayed in this first 45 minutes.
Well, so difficult too for Hong Kong to have to really go on the attack now with this Japanese side able to hit them on the counter. Higa not happy with that, but I think that was a well-deserved free kick. Played very fast and a little bit too fast, I have to say, for everybody on the park. Probably will be a few minutes added on after we had that discussion between the assistant referee and the referee earlier on in the game. Probably not much more than a couple of minutes at most.
Just the 1 minute to be added on. The man holding the sign up, the Vietnamese linesman Nguyen Ngoc Kha, refereed one of the semi-finals.
Sako on the ball, and he gets in low cross. Maybe get a last shot here before halftime. It's Japan with the pressure. Yamamura, he cuts back in and he tries to get the free kick and is not given, and I think that was a good call by the referee.
It was. There was barely any contact at all.
Oh, but here it's won by the captain Yamamoto, who gives it away though. Japan now putting pressure on Hong Kong.
Well, again, that youth brings with it great fitness. They, fair to say, they could probably outlast Hong Kong if it came to a couple of periods of extra time. But that's what we thought against North Korea as well. And Hong Kong came through in the shootout. There's a whistle for half-time here. And a 1-0 lead for Japan. Again, great to see this stadium full of fans. It's a rare sight these days, it's got to be said, apart from the rugby sevens. It's rare that it gets full for football, but you're seeing it here. And the atmosphere is great. And Hong Kong are going to need more of that support as they try and turn around this deficit in the second half of the gold medal match against Japan. Stay with us.
See the top 10. See the audition all-stars. And see who wins at the season finale of America's Got Talent. 8:30 tonight on Pearl's Weekend Reality. The human brain.
Every moment of our life, our brain is making decisions for us. A real decision has real moral consequences.
Has some surprising equivalents.
What we learned from a fly can be used as a design principle.
Curious. The last episode. Monday night at 9:30 on Pearl. Mainland parents continue to abandon millions of babies who are girls or disabled so as to try again for a healthy boy under the one-child policy. Now, heartless officials are taking advantage of the problem by forcing poor farmers to give up their extra babies, then sell them overseas for thousands of dollars as fake abandoned kids. Details on the Pearl Report, Sunday night at 6:55.
The most effective way to prevent avian flu is to avoid touching birds or their droppings, or feeding birds in the wild or in parks. When buying live poultry, do not touch it. Always ensure that poultry products are thoroughly cooked before serving. Prevent avian influenza. Don't touch live poultry.
民生福利好啲，我哋就受惠多啲啦。
不過要應使則使喎。
政府投放多啲資源俾我哋就好啦。
係啦，
我會考慮嘅。
打工仔梗係希望政府可以改善經濟同就業啦。
多謝你嘅意見。Your thoughts are very important and will help me prepare next year's budget. Act now and tell me your views.
Please visit www.budget.gov.hk.
Trash, garbage, rubbish, waste.
The nasty stuff that nobody wants anymore.
Can we get anything useful out of it?
We're actually seeing a paradigm shift in waste management.
Ecopolis. Wednesday night at 9:35 on Pearl. Catch the East Asian Games daily highlights tonight at these times on Pearl.
Welcome back. Well, you're looking at live pictures as the sun is almost nearly gone here, and a good crowd here, nearly a full house at Hong Kong Stadium. Let's take a look at those stats from the first 45 minutes. Shots on target, 4 for Hong Kong and 2 for Japan. Well, I find that very surprising, to be honest. Corners, 4 for Hong Kong, 2 for Japan. I would have thought that would be the other way around, the enthusiastic way that Japan have been playing. And plenty of fouls out there as well. A total of 18 and 2 yellow cards, both by Japan. But it's definitely Japan, for the moment, playing the more entertaining football. Okay, let's take a look at highlights from that first 45 minutes. And really, it was not exactly all Japan. Hong Kong did have some great breaks, but Japan certainly seemed far more in control of things.
Well, here a good shot from Su. The problem for Hong Kong is most of the efforts that Hong Kong had, there weren't enough support around them. And here again, Su with a great break here, winning the ball, the middle of park, and runs up. But again, he's forced to take a shot on from what is really opportunistic distance because there's nobody inside the box to support him. And here we see the Japanese side, though, much better in terms of the man players forward in the attack.
Well, Kiki, Japan not on average that much bigger than Hong Kong, but they do have a couple of players who are a fairly good height, and that really could make the difference.
Yeah, one of the star players for me from the Japanese side has been their midfielder Yamamura, who stands at 1.86 meters. Here we have one of the moves from Hong Kong, and this was a very important tackle, very important reception by Muramatsu, who of course is the later scorer later on. But here, almost a free and clear opportunity for Chow. But as we talked about, Yamamura, standing 1.86, really has caused the Hong Kong midfield a lot of trouble. Wong here with the low cross in, and it was this time around that he just got behind Chow, and Chow not able to direct anything towards goal. It's a good ball in here with lots of pace, but unfortunately behind Chow. And there Nagai with the long ball forward, and he gets blocked here initially.
It earns him a corner though.
It certainly does, and this is where things start to get very, very difficult for Hong Kong. Yamamoto, the skipper, with the very deep corner kick, and it's missed here at first, and then a clear opportunity for Muramatsu, who of course just minutes before had stopped Hong Kong from scoring.
Well, Kiki, that ball was going in no matter what, because even if the keeper managed to deflect that out, Nagai, the Japanese number 20, was hovering unmarked just there on the other post. He was just waiting to pick up the pieces if he had to, not needed in the end, so that was always going to be a Japanese goal.
Well, the problem for Yap here, as he has to block the shot, he realizes there's so many Japanese players in front of him that he can't block it straight back.
So it was a tough decision for the Hong Kong keeper, Yap. And there's the goal scorer, Muramatsu. Donald Zhang, the chief executive and an amateur photographer in attendance. Kwok Ka-ming to his left, one of the big names in Hong Kong football over the past few decades.
And as we saw, Japan kept pressing forward. There, Nagai with a shot that he just leaned slightly too far back. And I'm sure that if he got another opportunity around this area in the park, he's sure to chest jab, really put his foot right through, but not able to keep it down. Nagai, one of the star players for Japan as well in the first half. And here it was a good work from Chow. And very, very important attack.
That was a great opportunity, though, Kiki. That was just really, if he connected well with it, he only had the keeper to beat. He had two big spaces on either side.
Yeah, Su there getting pressured by Higa as he goes up and not able to direct the ball on target. And it was towards the latter end that we really saw Chow contribute to his side. And I think he gets involved in this move as well here again. It is Chow.
It was a great swift movement to get Chow through. And he just didn't have the support. Not Ao Jung, it was Chang who was coming in, but just a little too late. So it looked like he was committed to the cross and tried to change it to a shot, but Hong Kong went to the break, trailing 1-0.
Welcome to Amsterdam.
The models take Amsterdam by storm.
Oh my God.
But one model takes high fashion.
Okay, that is frightening me.
To a new low.
But Sheena finds the most lewd pose to do.
I know what I need to work on. Being too sexy and then too Gucci.
Sheena looks like she's really selling what she wants them to buy.
Never! America's next top model. 8:30 Sunday on Pearl's Weekend Reality. Animals that have never seen people before aren't afraid of us.
He seems to like you.
You only have to find something like this and it makes it all worthwhile. You forget all that misery and all that hardship.
Come on, go and find yourself a girlfriend.
Expedition New Guinea, the last episode. Tuesday night at 9:30 on Pearl. This month on Bloomberg, the first decade of the millennium has been marred by crisis. From the dot-com bust to the Lehman collapse, SARS to swine flu, the Asian tsunami to the Sichuan quake, and to 9/11, to Bali, to Mumbai. At the same time, China and India have been rising, lifting millions from poverty. What does the future have in store? Watch Bloomberg Television on Pearl. Capturing the beauty and wonder of untamed wilderness, of isolated cultures, and fast disappearing landscapes. The spectacular journeys of a passionate photographer. Art Wolfs travels to the edge. Monday night at 8 on Pearl. The NBA game to watch this month. The Houston Rockets take on the Dallas Mavericks. Live at the NBA 2009-2010. Next Saturday morning at 9:30 on Pearl. When investing, you have to know when to get in and when to get out. Learn to spot entry and exit points from in-depth analysis of market conditions and interviews with top money managers. JP Morgan Asset Management presents the Wall Street Journal Report. Monday night at 7 on Pearl. The Wall Street Journal Report is brought to you by JP Morgan Asset Management, the asset management company of the year in Asia.
Welcome back. You're looking at live pictures of Hong Kong Stadium. If you've only just joined us, I'm Andrew Sams. I'm joined in the commentary booth by Kiki Stensgaard for this East Asian Games gold medal football final between Hong Kong and Japan. Now, you could say a more experienced Hong Kong side. They're slightly older, but Kiki, this Japanese side, mostly teenagers, really playing well beyond their years, or punching above their weight class, if you can put it that way.
Well, I actually think this Japanese side has been quite sensational so far. When I watch some of the passing game, it reminds me a lot of one of the Premier League sides, Arsenal. A lot of great passing going on. And I just wouldn't be surprised looking at the age group whether if this side is also the favorite players for the under 21, because all the players on this side is exactly under 21, and they look like they have played a lot of football together, and there's a lot of great talent in there. Obviously Nagai, the scorer in the semifinals, is incredible going forward. Yamamura, the tall midfielder, so strong and physical, reminds you of a Vieira when he was playing in Arsenal, just bulldozing everything down and really using his physical presence to push not just the midfield of Hong Kong, but also the central defenders of Hong Kong. Had a lot of trouble with Yamamura, and also obviously the fact that the defenders of Japan really all get involved in moving forward. As we saw, the goal scored by Japan was made by Muramatsu, who's actually their right back, and that's one of the differences between the two sides. Is the Japanese defenders actually gets involved in the attacking moves, where Hong Kong plays more conventional football, so to say, and the last three players stays back and never really gets involved in the attacking moves.
Well, a sign of a good team is spotting a player. It's usually only one or two in a team that play so well that you look at and you think, well, the scouts will be after him, or will remember him. You'll remember his face. You remember that playing style. This Japanese side have 5 or 6 guys playing on the park in that first half that you looked at and thought, that's star material.
Yeah, they really have a good technical skill. I mean, pretty much all the players have superior technical skill. They are fast, quick, and they're willing to pass the ball, which, you know, at this level, particularly in the final, you sometimes start to see some of the better players wanting to do it all by themselves. But you always have to say that from Hong Kong, we had certainly some players that really stood out, and you have to say the skipper, Ao Yeung, really had some great moves today. He's taken on the responsibility of carrying the ball forward and sometimes beat 3 to 4 Japanese midfielders getting his way forward. And then towards the end, it was Chow Peng-fei, the tall forward, who really made a lot of great moves, and I think with a little bit more support around Chow, Hong Kong could make that very important equalizer.
Well, again, we didn't exactly write them off in the semi-finals over matters like fitness and slight disorganisation, but Hong Kong just, they really do have the ability to hang in there. It doesn't always look like beautiful football with Hong Kong, but they do have the ability to go on the counter-attack. They're famous for that. They can launch things, surprise attacks, and, you know, we've got another 45 minutes to go here in this gold medal match at least. Let's see what they're capable of.
Well, this match is far by over, and this Hong Kong side is going to be bombarding the Japanese goal. I think sooner or later they're going to throw everything forward, throw all caution into the wind, and really come at...
Well, we've got a new man on, Chan Siu-ki, one of the best-known footballers in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Chan, I think, actually went away to go into a trial period in the Premier League and probably has been flown back for this final. But that is going to be a huge lift for Hong Kong to have him on the pitch, and that just shows the intent from the coach.
Well, we briefly touched on physical size during the commentary in the first half, how you know, you're basically not going to get very far if you don't have enough big guys. The Japanese here, they do have a couple of guys that are bigger than the average Hong Kong size and weight. Now, Chan Siu-ki, as you can see there, getting underway, the number 7, broad shoulders, and he's fairly tall as well.
Well, he's going to have to be a strong boy if he's going to compete in the Premier League, and I'm sure with the partnership with Chow, they can put some pressure on this Hong Kong defense. And it's good to see that the Hong Kong coach, Kim Pan-gon, is coming out very offensively right from the get-go here in the second half. I think that's a good strategy. So, gets a good ball in there, and important header from the defense. Chow trying to hit that with the heel.
This is Kwok. Kwok might go himself.
Japanese defense defending desperately at the moment. Good start here from Hong Kong.
Brilliant start. They've really rattled the Japanese.
Going behind is Kwok there. Chow doing well getting that down, and then he's blocked at his attempt for a shot. And I'm very impressed with Chow the last 20 minutes. Ao Yeung with a
oh, look at that! That's in! Hong Kong have equalised. Brilliant stuff.
It's the substitute Chan who scores the goal, set up by Ao Yeung and headed, I think, into open space by Chow, if I'm not wrong. What a great combination. Three of the most influential players in the first couple of minutes, and Hong Kong has equalised, and well deserved so. Really attacking the goal, and there the man of the hour. Ao Yeung gets a good ball in here to the far post, and it's headed on, and in the end it's an easy header for Chan. I think it was Su who headed Chan into open space. And what a goal, what a start here on the second half.
Looking up there to the VIP box. So, this is going to make for a very exciting second half, because Japan are going to be throwing everything back at Hong Kong now.
Well, the Japanese coach, Nishimura, will be bitterly disappointed having allowed such a goal to happen so early on in the second half. It's really going to boost the confidence now, and just listen to the crowd. They're going to want to push this Hong Kong side on towards the second goal. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but
that's wishful thinking, I think.
It's Chow, and he's being hunted down by two Japanese defenders. It was Yamamura who got his foot on that. Su is leaving the throw, potentially for a long throw here for Chan. Chan is going to try to hoist this into the box, and that's a good long throw there. And it's the Japanese skipper, Yamamoto, that has to clear the ball. We're going to see it again. It's almost Stoke City all over here again.
Chan directing play. That's a great throw. Look, you know what, Kiki, when Hong Kong do something special, it usually doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look pretty at all, but it gets the job done.
It's hard work and a lot of heart, and they really have shown a lot of heart here in the second half. And you know what? Right now, it's very, very tough for the Japanese side. The crowd is on their feet. I think nobody is sitting down at the moment, and they are willing this Japanese side on to more. Good work there from Chan to come back and break up that Japanese move. Unfortunately, just slicing that ball out. And this would really have rattled the Japanese that they can concede so early, and that Hong Kong is able to put them under so much pressure in their own box.
And they're on the move again. They need more red shirts up there, though. That's a good little gap created by Chan. He has been a sensation since he's come on in the last, at the start of the second half.
Yeah, here, good winning of the ball, and Chan almost able to beat the defenders here. He tried to twist in between, and it's Yamamura that has to come back and cut the ball back. But Hong Kong still putting pressure now on this Japanese side, and as you can see in the positioning, a lot more aggressive in the formation at the moment, the Hong Kong side. Yamamura cut back. It's Higa. Back to his skipper there, Suzuki. Chow almost wins the ball. Higa getting pushed hard by Zhu. Yamamoto with a long ball over to the right flank, and that is not being controlled by Kamata, who just hesitated for a minute there. And I have to say that man Kamata just looks like he might have a little bit of Brazilian heritage. That's not so nice. Asking for a yellow card.
That is really bad form by Kwok. That's silly. That should never be done. And he should know better than that. He should know that players get castigated after games for doing that.
And here an important interception by Yap. Osako with an opportunity here. Let's see it here. It's a short kick. And Osako almost get an opportunity on goal. And Yap doing well coming out from his line. Japan now with the first corner kick here in the second half. It's Yamamoto with the left foot curling in. Aoki passing back.
Loose ball. Oh, great keeping by Yap.
Yeah, and that was important. The keeper showing a lot of courage there. Two Japanese players trying to get at the end of this one.
I tell you, that is a very proud Hong Konger launching into a save like that.
Yeah, and it seems like he did take a little bit of a knock. It takes a lot of courage to be a keeper, particularly at this level, because the players really will come at you with everything they got, and sometimes with the studs first.
Yep. Well, unless you're Peter Schmeichel, and then you're generally a foot taller and 40 pounds bigger than everybody else.
Chow here on a run. It's worked very well the last half an hour. Chow onto the left foot, not able to get the good pass. And this should be dealt with by Japan.
Jung is chasing. They've done well to keep it.
Great skill, Jung. Technically, the best of all the Hong Kong players, I think. Long ball forward. Of course, now with both Chan and Chow forward, I think it gives Hong Kong more option in terms of speed moving forward than previously.
Forward by Yamamura. This is Yamamoto. Rushing onto it was Nagai, but he got beaten to the ball there. It's going to be too far, I'm afraid. Punched back by Muramatsu, the goal scorer from the first half for Japan. This is Suzuki, the Japanese skipper.
So it seems like Japan has weathered the storm here, and the crowd is just quieting a little bit more down. Yamamoto, the playmaker from Japan, would want to get his formation more forward into play, because it has been pretty much all Hong Kong so far in the second half. Chow again working tirelessly, showing great strength and determination. Bigger. And now it's the Japanese that is not able to combine to create anything meaningful going forward.
Oh, nice work. Good turn by Zhu.
Young is trying to get at the end of that.
Kwok nearly got there.
Cavano on the ball, looking for players, cutting back in. Still Cavano though. Danger here. Oh, that's hoisted way over the goal, but a little bit too deep defending there for Hong Kong. And despite Aoki going way over the crossbar, I think Hong Kong has to be careful to allow the Japanese this close on target. That would have been the point in rugby.
Chan gets up to it. He's down for Kwok.
Chow and Kwok combining well, and it's cleared though by Kamata.
Jung.
Wong gets forward. It's good to see the left-footed fullback there. Kwok with the cross in, and it's cleared by the Japanese skipper Suzuki. Nagai to Osako. Osako trying to find a free man, and it's cleared by the Hong Kong defense.
Referee didn't like it. Jung being called back.
Yeah, I think he was just a little bit too eager there a couple of times. Both got the pull in the shirt and the punch in the back, and the second time around it was a little bit too much for the referee. So Yamamoto taking his time on the ball. Kamata. Nagai. And that's going to go out for a throw-in. Osako is now looking for players. Japan has managed to get pretty close now to the Hong Kong box. Kamata is going to take it through. And Aoki. Nagai. Yamamoto. Cavano. It's still Cavano trying to make the turn. Can't get the space to get in the cross, but here it comes. Oh, and well cleared by the Hong Kong side.
That was good play out on the right flank by Japan. Brilliant footwork.
Yeah, they did really well here, very patiently, trying to find space. Cavano here making a couple of quick turns, then a back heel to get the cross in, and you have to say that Osaka was really close to get his head on that. Okay, very patient build-up here from Japan. Free kick is given to Hong Kong.
Clears this ball as we come up to the 1 hour mark at Hong Kong Stadium. If you've just switched on, we're watching live pictures of the gold medal match at the East Asian Games between Japan and Hong Kong, with the score level at 1-1.
Japanese keeper there, Matsumoto, taking his time, then hoisting the ball forward. And trying to find Nagai there. And the Nagai, it's got to be careful. Well, it's not Nagai this time around, but they've got to be careful because there's a couple of yellow cards already on the Japanese side. And it was his teammates that just came in with the studs first, I think. Chun Wai-ho here with the free kick, taking the kick forward. That's a little bit of a waste. Space, and it's an opportunity here for Japan, for Hong Kong. Oh, good work there from Matsumoto, and an appeal for a free kick here at the edge of the box. Su is calling it a penalty, and I have to say, at the first sight, it didn't look like there was a whole lot in this. Let's look at it here again. A dangerous opportunity, right down the middle of the defense. Su gets onto the ball.
Oh, well, I tell you what, it's hard to call. That was right on the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much contact there was there, but Suzuki, the Japanese skipper, gives away a free kick. And unfortunately for Hong Kong, you have to say, it's a bad angle and almost too close to the goal. Very difficult to get this up and over the wall. So not the best positions to have a shot from. Well, there might have been more contact than I initially thought there. So Japan maybe getting away with one there. Suzuki making a pretty clinical free kick there. Wong is on the ball, and you would think Wong is fancied here with the left foot. He could curl it in to the far corner. It is Wong.
Oh, it's a good attempt. It seems like that was all they could do, really.
Yeah, he had a good direction, but didn't have the pace to beat the keeper, Matsumoto, at the end with a simple hole. He went for the far corner, but Matsumoto were well positioned there. But Hong Kong now in the ascendancy. Long ball forward here, and almost managed to find Su, who's still struggling after that tackle on the edge of the box.
Well, it's been total commitment from Hong Kong, and this is where the fitness is really going to be proven, because there's still plenty of football left just in regulation time, around half an hour.
Well, look at the crowd, Andrew. They're all standing up on the sidelines, really getting into this match. And that's not so good play from Nagai, but he wins the ball back. Oh, and a couple of late tackles now from both sides, and I think the referee just going to have to get hold of this. Higa looking for the cross. A little cutback, and there's real danger here, but it's offside. Just offside, I think. Yeah, that's a good spot there from the assistant referee. And Nagai coming from an offside situation.